On Sunday, March 6th, my amazing wife, Cassie, gave birth to my son, Malachi. Now, the problem was Malachi was born with his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck 4 times. So when the doctors and paramedics first had him, they were resuscitating him for almost an hour with no pulse, and doctors were literally saying, "Stop." Now, thank God they didn't. The doctors resuscitated him. He was rushed to the children's hospital, where he is now fighting for his life. He can't breathe on his own. His heart doesn't function by itself, and there is no brain activity. His kidneys are fighting and failing. His liver is fighting and failing. Now, the doctors have stabilized him, but he is still in the fight for his life. And on a medical standpoint, it looks almost hopeless. But I know that I serve a big God. He is a good Father. That is who He is. First of all, I just want to thank everyone who has been praying for myself, my wife, my son, my family. I have been laid out on the floor in tears, crying out to Jesus, not knowing what to do. There's been a complete and unexpected and overwhelming peace and joy that has flooded over me and over my family. Now, joy is not something that you'd expect in the hardest and most impossible times, but in the message of Jesus, Jesus is joy. Now, the name Malachi means messenger, and I firmly believe that the message of Jesus through His life and through His story so far is going to travel the world and just give peace to people who are like me in a hard situation. In these times of the seemingly impossible and unexpected, God is the God of the impossible. So right now we are praying for God to completely heal Malachi's body and mind, or don't, and just take him quickly to heaven. Because it says in Psalm 62, "Yes, my soul find rest in God. My hope comes from Him. Truly He is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress, and I will not be shaken. My salvation and my honor depend on God. He is my mighty rock, my refuge. Trust in Him at all times, you people. Pour out your hearts to Him, for God is our refuge." Now, I understand that some people see death as a "we lost," or "God didn't answer our prayers," or "there is no God," but I want you to put those thoughts aside. That is not true. God is always answering our prayers. It may not always be the way that we expect, or the way that we anticipate, or the way that we want it to happen, but God is always answering our prayers. And like that saying goes, Daddy knows best. Now, it says in Romans 8 verse 11, "And if the Spirit of Him who raised Jesus from the dead is living in you, He who raised Christ from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies because of the Spirit who lives in you." We have also discovered an absolute trust in Jesus, that win, life or death, God has got us in the palm of His hands. And a lot of that is from people's prayers that are just enveloping us, and knowing that there are people there praying for us. So if you want to be one of those people, some of the practical things you can pray for is, most importantly, is neural activity. We need God to jumpstart His brain. His heart and His liver and His lungs and His kidneys have all taken a huge hit. I really believe that prayer is like a bridge. Prayer is the bridge between the problem and the solution, and we need to build this bridge for the solution to get to the problem. And I believe the prayer warriors are kind of like the I-beams of the bridge and the crane operators who put the I-beams in place. But we also need the people who are like the 5-second hammer strikes. 5 seconds, God heal Malachi, boom, strike of a hammer. God be with his family, boom, strike of a hammer. If 1,000 people do 5-second prayers, that's 5,000 seconds of prayer. That is 83 minutes, and that is almost an hour and a half in 5 seconds. So I want to encourage you, pray. And so from me to you, may the Lord, our Savior, bless you and keep you, and may his face shine upon you and be gracious to you, and may you experience his forever, never giving up, never ending peace and joy.